could talk about rappers. I could talk about athletes. I could talk about the Kardashians. I could talk about famous people all day. But that ain't that ain't what I'm doing. If you look at most of my titles, it says Memphis OG. So how I'm gonna be a OG if I don't get no game? You can't be no OG if you ain't giving no game, man. It is what it is. You ain't giving no game. You can't claim OG. You ain't no OG if you ain't giving out no game, man. Cut it out. Stop it. Quit it. If you ain't giving no game, you can't be no OG. Hands down, period. So my nephew went to jail. That's the bad news. Um, I've been having countless conversations with my nephew about the moves that my nephew making. I really didn't want my nephew to go to jail. I don't want none of my little cousins. I don't want none of my nephews going to jail. So, but I named this title Memphis OG speaks on uh, decision making and the laws and prison and all that. That's the reason I named the title what I named the title about decision making. I wouldn't never go to jail because I could see the road my nephew taking. You know what I'm saying? When you young, man, you like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Can't nobody tell you nothing. So that's why my nephew went to jail. Like he around that 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 age where he thinking, man, Unc 41, Unc don't know nothing. And so that's the bad news. I want to give y'all the bad news first is that my nephew went to jail. I'm not gonna tell y'all which nephew. I ain't gonna tell you what he done. Yeah, Doctor WSMX. That's that's what I'm letting people know. I'm not calling myself no OG like I'm putting you down with the gang or I'm sending you out on missions, sending you out to be a crash dummy. That's not the type of OG I am. I've never been that type of OG. Well, I ain't gonna say I never been, but for most part of my life, I always tried not to be that type of OG because in my neighborhood, like I'm somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have easily had all the youngest doing the wrong thing, but that ain't what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever I done, whatever I've been involved in, that's on me. But I'm not trying to send the youth out at all. So that was the bad news that my nephew went to jail, and it's still gonna be a lot of long, countless conversations with nephew, in hopes that he get things right. I ain't trying to cut my nephew off, uh, but I will cut anybody off if you're doing crimes toward women. I'm not playing by no crimes toward women. I gotta cut you off if you're doing crimes toward women. You playing with women. I ain't for that. But anyway, that was the bad news. My nephew went to jail, despite all the long conversations, 2, 3 hour conversations of me trying to get to my nephew. What's up, Wooey? It hurt me that my nephew went to jail because I'm talking to my nephew, trying to get him to go the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, but decision making is everything. I'm a dude. I could go viral at any given moment off putting names in my titles because I got a big YouTube subscriber list, right? But I it's not me. I'm not a gossipy dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a rumor starter. Like I'm really out here pushing a message about positivity and peace and prosperity and want to see the youth live long. Like I'm not out here like I really care. You know what I'm saying? And a good heart will mess you up a lot of times because at the end of the day, man, people gonna be who they want to be. People gonna be who they is. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't stop people from being who they are. I can't stop people from being who they are. But I don't want to give up on hope of who people could be. So the bad news was my